sports. It's a habit you can live with.
Sponsored by the National Sporting Goods Association.
New coach in town and tea time with Wade on Sunday Sports Wrap.
The following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
ABC Sports presents, live in its 30th season, the Professional Bowlers Tour. Today from Seattle, it's the $125,000 Seattle Open. In our first game, you'll see two-time PBA champion Danny Weissman of Baltimore, Maryland. He'll face Curtis Odom of Winston-Salem, who's shooting for his first title. That runner will meet the hottest bowler on the tour, three-time winner this year, Dell Ballard of Richardson, Texas. In the semifinal game, we'll see a player who's making his first appearance among the final five, Forkel of Chatsworth, California. And our tournament leader is hoping to break through for his sixth PBA title, first since winning the 1990 Firestone, Dave Ferraro. And that's our outstanding field of finalists for this afternoon's Professional Bowlers Tour telecast. The Professional Bowlers Tour has returned to the Pacific Northwest for the $125,000 Seattle Open. Seattle, the Emerald City. There are many reasons why it is called a most livable one. One being the natural beauty surrounding it, as is the water. Culturally, well, all five art disciplines are performed here. Hello again, I'm Chris Schenkel. Speaking of institutions, here is one, Farmers Market. It was started in 1907 to allow the farmers to bring their produce into the city, this pioneer town, and sell it directly to the consumers. This theory has been practiced ever since, with great success. Now there are hundreds of booths selling fresh vegetables, bakery products, fruits from all parts of the world. There are restaurants here, you name it. You could spend a day here and not see it all. So the next time you're in the area, please come to Farmers Market. You'll enjoy the day, especially the fish market, my favorite, because you can not only buy fresh salmon right now, you can have it sent home, as you can my favorite, Dungeness crab. Nelson Burton Jr. likes Dungeness crab as well. He's out at Skyway Park Bowl as we're getting ready now for the finals of the Seattle Open. Here's Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Back in the Seattle area for the 30th consecutive year. And earlier this week, I had a chance to go to the fish market and enjoy some of the crustacean delights. And not far from the waterfront is Skyway Park Bowl. We're back here with a stellar field for the championship round. The scores have been very good all week. In fact, our four right-handers average better than 242. But the big story today is being written by the man with me in the announce booth, Dell Ballard Jr. Dell has a chance to tie a PBA record by winning a third consecutive pro tournament. He won in Beaumont, Texas a couple of weeks ago. He won last week in Dublin, California. And Dell Ballard, you have to be buoyed with confidence today.
I'm confident, Bo. I'm going out. I'm going to try to be as aggressive as I have been the last couple of weeks, and I hope I'm in the position to win again today. That's all I'm going to try to do is just be aggressive.
Well, the scores have been very high. Who do you think is going to be your toughest opponent?
I think Dave Ferraro is going to be toughest because he beat everybody all week. He's bowled the best, and he's leader, and that's proof of it.
All right, Dell, you averaged 235 on the championship pair, so you know how to play them. So let's show the people at home how the PBA has prepared the championship pair. They've been oiled 4 times this week. Oiled to 7 feet, down to 15 feet, to 21 feet, and then all the way down to 45 feet, and the oil is heavy down the center. There is no cross wipe this week, and that makes the score much higher. Also, it is dry in the last 15 feet of the lane. Now, the 4 right-handers are playing a line that swings out towards the right-hand edge and into the 1-3 pocket. Dave Ferraro, the tournament leader, is playing right down the edge into the 1-3. Our one left-hander is playing around the second arrow out to the edge board and cutting into the 1-2 pocket. Chris, I look for some very good scores and a lot of money at stake.
Yes, a total purse of $125,000, 18 to the winner, 9,500 runner-up, 755 and 4,500 for finishing 5th. In other words, the loser of the first game will get that. Well, ABC's Wide World of Sports today kicks off a triple adventure. First, the Crown Princes of Basketball perform their wizardry at a magical resort. It's the Harlem Globetrotters at Walt Disney World. Then we're back for another round, a special preview of the Mike Tyson-Razor Ruddock rematch. Plus, we take you for a ride of your life, mountain biking in the Rockies. That's all
on AABC's Wide World of Sports following our live telecast from Seattle. Handshake now. Danny Weissman will shoot first. His opponent is Curtis Odom. We have, though, a couple of Southern gentlemen here.
Two players that have bowled very well all week long. Wiseman very steady. Odom a tremendous charge last night in the last 8 games. First shot.
Awful way to start.
A man who has only lost 1 game in the championship round starts inauspiciously with a 5 pins count. There's 2 conventional ways of going at this. You can go over on the left side and try to slide the pins over here, or bounce one of the 3 into the 4-7. Let's see what Danny chooses to do.
So it's an open frame for Danny Weissman, who has a 4-1 and 1 loss record on his telecast. This is his 4th appearance on television, and that only loss was to Dell Ballard, from whom you just heard, who will meet the winner of this match, Odom. High hit in the 6-10.
Setting up the championship pair, we saw the oil pattern that the PBA is putting down. Quadruple oil down the center, which is a high-scoring environment, but the player is a little bit apprehensive in the right-hand lane, 34, hooking a little more.
Chopping the 10 off the 6. So we have a count of 8 for Weissman and 9 for Odom in the first frames.
As he slides by the 6-10, Curtis Odom once again picks up a different bowling ball. We've talked the pros and cons of changing balls for spare. Spares, the theory being a high friction ball for strikes and a low friction ball for spares, but often it's a downfall.
Good comeback by the 33-year-old professional from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the non-winner. It's his 3rd telecast of 1991. Here back again is Danny Weissman, who has 2 PBA titles, winning them both from the top seed, the top spot. He's in the number 5 position on today's show. Okay. Let's get a profile replay.
Danny Weissman, who is a very conventional type player, takes a short delivery, has a long stride and a long slide, 4 steps. Ideal style. Chris, he changed his style in 1988. He used to be a short oil, as we say, a house bowler. He threw very hard, had a stutter step, and now he's gotten rid of that stutter step, has that long, smooth stride, and has won 2 PBA titles in the last year and a half. Sharp young man.
Big double. And he leads by 9 pins. But, of course, Odom can change that with a strike up. He'll be shooting in the 3rd frame of our first game from Skyway Park Bowl, Seattle.
Curtis Odom, a late bloomer in the sport of bowling, really didn't take it up until he was 13 years of age. He said he averaged only 112 his first year and then took up serious bowling in his late 20s, now 33.
All right. Seesaw battle here in our very first match.
Odom has a good all-around style, 4-step delivery, has a low backswing. He depends on accuracy and playing the lanes, a very cerebral player, and that's how he controls the lane with a moderate hook, change of speed, change of angles. Right now he leads by 1, can extend that lead to 11, 4th frame.
Holder of 7 regional titles, but wants that first national. Of a battle now, 3 in a row for Curtis Odom. His opponent today is Danny Weissman. More of the match after this.
Here I am, a pillar of the community. And I love Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Brave adults challenge the notion that Frosted Flakes is just a kid's cereal.
In business meetings, I look around and wonder, am I the only one?
Those sweet, crunchy flakes and a splash of cold milk. What could an adult like better for breakfast?
I'm crazy about the taste. Hey,
I got nothing to hide.
It's easy to see. Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
Some men would rather live their lives sheltered in the harbor, and some would rather sail into life with the unmistakable scent of Old Spice. Clean, true, and classic. Old Spice, one of the legends of the sea.
Here's news. If your athlete's foot won't go away, you could have more than athlete's foot. You could have a secondary yeast infection. That's right, yeast.
Only Mycotin cures both athlete's foot and secondary yeast infections with miconazole. Step up to the mic. Mycotin.
With the chalky taste of some antacids, it can seem that the cure is worse than the pain. Introducing new Lantto Cherry and Cool Mint Creams, the best tasting antacids, blended creamier for a non-chalky taste.
No wonder my doctor said Lantto.
ABC Sports cameras show you a capacity crowd at the Skyway Park Bowl in Seattle on an overcast day. Beautiful area. Danny Weissman trailing by 11. Trails by 1. Last week, Danny Weissman experienced his worst performance as a pro, and here's how he turned a negative into a positive.
Well, after Denver, I took a couple weeks off, and I bowled once in those 3 weeks. And I had my worst tournament ever. Then Friday afternoon, I went and bowled for 5 hours, and Friday night, I worked with Billy Hall after the finals for another 2 hours. And then Sunday and Monday, I practiced, and I felt better. I visualized my tape when I changed my game, and just got my confidence back, and here I am today.
All right, he's really stringing them, and he's giving thanks where it belongs. A great spirit with that four-bagger.
Ideal lane condition for the pros, as we said. You look at Curtis Odom's grip. He's using a very much stretched fingertip grip. He had had some wrist problems, was going to drop out of the tournament, and now he's changed balls and looks much better.
Okay. Curtis Odom almost dropped out of the tournament yesterday because of a nagging injury. He explains how he was able to get here today.
Well, in '89, in the fall, I started having hand problems, and then it basically blew out on me in Vegas in 1990. I've been taking anti-inflammatory pills, and occasionally it would bother me. I feel like it's only about 85%, but last night I used a different ball that I used Thursday night, and it made a big difference. No problem.
And he said it was just a more comfortable grip, took the pressure off his wrist. He's right in the match.
Crossing over, leaving a 3-9.
Curtis a little quick to the line that time, and as you see, he's kind of pulling the ball through with his shoulders, gets left of his target, leaves a very difficult spare. The 3-9, if he converts, he will trail by 1.
Your pinfall occasionally. Those are the pins as Dell Ballard practices. Did it. Beautiful fashion. Both professionals started with open frames. And now Danny Weissman has strung 4, shooting in the 6th frame. Leads by 1, can up it to 11. Big deep breath. 23 years old. Ah, youth. Danny Weissman's biggest thrill, that's, of course, winning Fairlanes in front of his hometown fans. Remember that day, Bo? It was something.
Baltimore, Washington area. Danny Weissman, a very conventional type player. He's going to be rolling this ball around the first arrow. He'll be sliding around the center. You see where he's starting. Put it all together, hook it out, and trust that shot. The essence of a strike. He leads by 11, can make it 21, 7th frame.
He wasn't too unhappy. He avoided a split, so knowing Danny, he should take care of that 2-pin. Not a problem.
Sliding ball, sliding by, the ball breaking a little late. He knocks the 8-pin out. That's a key pin. Watch the head pin twist in behind, knock out the double wood 8. A simple spare, the 2-pin. He will maintain a 10-pin lead.
We're in our first match. Danny Weissman leading by 10 over Curtis Odom. More of the first match after this.
The morning belongs to Speed Stick. It's what more men reach for, to prepare, to prevent, to protect. Speed Stick, 110% protection. Speed Stick, 110% protection.
What do I know about kitchen stuff?
Small appliances.
Plug.
Outlet.
Want to know any more? Ask Dave.
This Windmere 12-inch 3-speed oscillating fan, only $13.99. And the Host King hose wheel is just $19.99.
Hey, Ace is the place for me.
Let me tell you.
When you've got a tough case of athlete's foot, the itching, the cracking, the burning, you want a medicine that acts tough. Tough-Actin Tenactin. Clinically proven Tenactin cures even the tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. Get Tough-Actin Tenactin.
The Harlem Globetrotters bring their basketball magic to Walt Disney World. Plus a preview of the Tyson-Ruddock rematch, all next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
We're back again. Skyway Park Bowl, Seattle. First match about to end. Danny Weissman going against Curtis Odom. Odom will be up now, trailing by 10 pens. He has a spare working. He'll be shooting in the 7th frame. The winner to meet Dell Ballard. And if you just joined us in the number 2 spot in this field of 5, Eric Forkel of Chatsworth, California, and our tournament leader from Kingston, New York, Dave Ferraro. Okay, now to Bo.
Thank you, Chris. Dell Ballard, 3 weeks in a row you have a chance to win. You looked very tired last night.
I was mentally tired. I tried to pump up, and I just was drained. I bowled well yesterday morning, and I guess it made me relax, and I came out very flat. I got a great night's sleep last night, and I think I'll be ready today.
Looks like big scores, Chris. He'll be tough in the next match.
Won't he? Now to tie if he can strike right here.
Get back, baby!
Oh, the 10.
Oh, I didn't like it.
It's getting late. He is wired for sound, as you can tell, a wireless microphone. There he switches balls now for this pair shot.
You know, the trouble Chris, he's had with his hand switching balls. He missed that spare in the first frame. We'll see what happens here.
Okay. So now Danny Weissman is back up, shooting in the 8th with a spare working.
Wiseman, the full grip also. Watch his eyes. I think he has the steadiest eyes on the target of any young player I've seen come up on the tour. Once he sets them, keeps them right there. Very important.
Horrible bowling ball. The defending champion here, Chris Warren of Texas, he finished 29th. And helping her husband here is Lisa Weissman.
Lisa has been vacationing down Lake Havasu, flew all night long, she said, to get here. She says she's a little tired, but I'm sure she's wide awake paying attention to the score now, as her husband, Danny, has a 10-pin lead going into the 9th frame.
Back in the 9th, a tense young lady. Ah, there's the smile.
The pressure is really on Odom right now. He's looking to the scoreboard, and he sees that he has a possible 237 if he can strike in the 9th and 3 times in the 10th. Right now, Wiseman going at a 237 pace. It's up for grabs.
Thank you very much.
4-pin.
Lube job.
Curtis, who does a lot of his practicing at Major League Lanes and Northside Lanes in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, as he leaves the 4-pin right here, has a possible 226.
Okay, we're in Seattle, and it's June. Coming up in July, ABC Sports will begin its month-long coverage of one of the world's most prestigious sporting events. Three-time winner Greg LeMond defends his title against an elite international field in cycling's greatest race. Coverage of the Tour de France begins Saturday, July 6th, with a special report on ABC's Wide World of Sports, followed Sunday the 7th with a 1-hour ABC Sports special. And the man so familiar with the Tour de France, our director, Larry Cam, here with us in Seattle today.
Mandatory the Curtis Odom strike in the 10th 2 times. He can get back in the match, but has to strike.
Flip! Thank you very much.
Oh, those 10 pins.
Bad break there. He really threw that ball well. He got the ball well out over the line. He's discouraged. You can see it in his face. Now watch this shot. Watch how he keeps his swing inside out. Good loft and lift over the foul line. Extension out. One of his best shots the whole match. The 6 flies around the 10, leaving Curtis in a position only to bowl 215. It won't be enough. Tough break.
Wouldn't want to make a pure shot.
Curtis Odom, 33 years old, from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
He has to be satisfied. I could hear what he said on the microphone. I wouldn't want to make a pure shot in the clutch, and you can only feel happy that you did the best you could do in that particular position. 215 is his best final score. That young man, Weissman, going at a 230 pace, just needs a good count.
Got a carry. Still ball.
215.
Danny Wiseman, just keep it on the lane. He'll go on to meet the only man who's defeated him in the championship round, Dell, Ballard Jr., in our second match.
There was the 8th strike in this match for Danny Weissman, who has sewed it up. He has defeated Curtis Odom and will have a chance to avenge that only loss handed him by Dell, Ballard. Ballard and Weissman next.
The excitement of the Pan Am Games begins August 3rd on ABC Sports.
Whose romance with the road is rekindled with each sunrise. Beautiful mornings begin at 8. Super 8 Motels.
Fat-free cereal. Truly, I can't imagine just how yummy that will be. Come on, can't we just have a little fun at breakfast? You know, have something with a little flavor to it? Yeah, something like this. Delicious. I like these.
Kellogg's cornflakes have always been fat-free.
Fat-free? Kellogg's cornflakes? Well, don't tell everyone. You'll just ruin it for them.
A good reason to taste them again for the first time.
Their mission seemed like a path to paradise. They got 3 days in hell.
Cover me!
Weekend Wars, Sunday.
Hi, I'm Tim Paulson, Vice President of Hair Club for Men. And of course, I'm also a client. I'm proud to announce that Hair Club has just made a dramatic improvement in our strand-by-strand system of hair replacement, the Polyfuse method. Call our toll-free number now and we'll send you our new brochure describing in detail our latest innovation, the Polyfuse method.
So why call it Polyfuse? Because by applying a polymer to your existing hair, it will literally fuse with the new hair we add. And believe me, even when I run my fingers through Sean's hair, it still feels natural, like his own, even when the hair blows around. It looks very natural. Even when wet, Gerard's hair still looks like it's all his own.
So make sure you call our toll-free number now to find out more about our dramatic improvement, the Polyfuse method from Hair Club for Men.
Don't forget, we stand behind it. And remember, I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.
A current affair takes a shocking journey through the justice system.
Kellogg's, the best to you each morning.
by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. And by Many. There's no better way to face the day than with Speed Stick by Many.
In Seattle, 23-year-old Danny Weissman of Baltimore. Big game, 256, 9 strikes over Curtis Odom, who shot at 215. Next, it's Ballard and Wiseman. Right now, it's Burton.
Thank you, Chris. Curtis, a real good game. What's happening out on the championship pair? Which lane hooks more, and what's the key lane?
Well, before we started, I thought the left lane was hooking more so did Danny, but the left lane got tighter and the right lane's hooking more so. It's not much, it's about a board or so, but I think Danny said he's going to make like a 2-in-1 adjustment on the left.
Who do you look for in this match?
Well, Danny's throwing the ball real well. I mean, it's going to be tough to beat 250 a game.
All right, Curtis. Good luck in the next tournament. Back to you, Chris.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, and Dell Ballard now is ready to go. He's from Richardson, Texas. Dell Ballard, Jr. 1989 Firestone champion. 1987 United States Open champion. His first title won it in nearby Tacoma.
We didn't know that.
Well,
the famous Ballard ball, right, Chris?
But it came so early. Too early, Bo.
This wasn't for all the money yet. He sends it out wide and in the moat, as they say out here on the tour. A pretty easy spare for a good strike bowler like Dell Ballard Jr.
Pete Weber at home is probably smiling. Oh, did you see that hanging on the lip? There's a man with a lot of courage, big ones. Dell Ballard Jr., that's why he's a great champion. Oh, look at that.
That's his spare attempt as he leaves the 10-pin. The old saying, trust is a must or your game is a bust. Well, Ballard definitely trusted. That time he was on the short end as he only had 9 pins in the first frame. Now Wiseman.
Well, that errant shot by Ballard didn't shake up Wiseman, did it? Another one of his patented powerful pocket hits. The 23-year-old from Baltimore.
Wiseman, being from the Baltimore, Washington area, took up duck pin bowling with the age of 4, which is basically a much smaller ball, same type lane, 10 smaller pins, and he continues to duck pin bowl. He's a 130 average, which is quite respectable in that game, but this is his livelihood, the big ball as they call it, the 16-pounder, and this man keeps getting better every week.
Oh, 10 finally went out, leaving only the 2. Man was won 4 on television, lost only 1. It was to Ballard, as we said earlier. And in the process, a 240 average in his 3 telecasts. First game today is even upping at 256. No strike and spare for Danny Weissman. And if you just joined us, Dell Ballard, another channel shot, very first stroke of the match. You won't rattle this guy.
Well, you talk about the steady, level shoulders, steady head. This man does it the best in the game of the bowling today. Shoulder high backswing, cupped wrist. Look at how steady that head is all the way through the target area and the high follow through. The longer the follow through, the longer the slide, the better you keep the ball on line. Third frame.
All right, come on. Hit it, hit it, hit it.
One of our better cheerleaders on tour, I'll tell you.
Well, Dell was a little bit apprehensive of the left-hand lane. He says it hangs a little bit, and you've seen that on both of his shots. The first one hung all the way out into the channel. His spare attempt in the first frame left the 10-pin. His strike attempt in the third has left the 10-pin, so he's got a little trouble.
Dell Ballard became the 4th player, 3-time PBA champion here in 1991 as he won at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl. He joins Ozio, Mazza, and Weber, all winning 3 thus far in 1991.
You see it from the overhead line. The full approach, 17 feet by Wiseman, standing on the left side of the approach.
Strike, spare, strike. Three parts on ABC's Wide World of Sports today. First, the best in entertaining basketball, the wizardry of the Harlem Globetrotters at Walt Disney World. Then, a special preview of the Mike Tyson-Razor Ruddock rematch. Mountain biking, if you like it, you'll take a tremendous ride of your life as they're biking in the Rockies. Wide World following us.
Now Wiseman, fourth frame, 11-pin lead, can take a 21-pin lead over Ballard.
Turning it on today, winning the first match, 256 to 215, Danny Weissman. We'll be back.
When you play the game, you're looking good. That's the Bud Light way, yes, understood.
When you're looking good, you want Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up and never let you down.
You can taste it, you can feel it, you know you got it right. Everything else is just the light. Just keep your Bud Light shining. Everything else is just the light. You got the shine on. Everything else is just.
Get huge savings on big names during Sears 4th of July paint sale, like Weather Beater, Easy Living, Dutch Boy, Olympic Stain, and more. This premium Weather Beater low luster satin finish on sale only $13.99. Hurry, sale ends July 6th at Sears.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Find better.
Bowling's best hit the trail looking to strike it rich in Portland. It's the PBA Oregon Open on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour next Saturday.
Yeah, the best pros in the world stay in the Pacific Northwest. Hollywood Bowl, Portland next week. We look forward to visiting that beautiful city.
Hook it up, baby.
And what happens when you hook it up? A 7-10. Dell having his problems today. If you just joined us on his very first shot, the left lane channel shot. Came back and got 9 pins with his spare ball. Go for 1. 10 pin. So Danny Weissman, who won the first game 256-215, is leading here. Bo?
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Eric Forkel will be in the semifinal. Your first time on national television. What are your feelings before you go out to the lanes?
I am a little nervous right now, obviously. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that I can execute some good shots.
Well, I think if you keep your concentration, a little fatherly advice, and keep your eyes on the target, you'll do quite well. Good luck.
Thanks, Bo.
Back to you, Chris.
Trailing by 34 pins. Dell Ballard.
Roll up, roll up. Think.
Little break. Dell Ballard getting his second strike in 5 frames. 2 opens. Thus, it is Weissman, who struck in the first, spare in the second, and now with a double up, he's shooting in the 5th, second match. Getting your mileage. In the groove today, Danny Weissman.
David Ozio, who didn't do too well this week, 157,000. These are our top 5. Ballard, that doesn't include his money today. It looks like if he doesn't get on the stick, he'll finish 3rd. Here's our averages through 22 tournaments so far this year. Norm Duke, the leader at 218. Now Wiseman has Ballard on the ropes, can extend his lead to 54 pins, 6th frame.
Leaves the 2-pin, and Bo, we saw on that list the name Pete Weber twice, sitting out of suspension, but June 13th, lucky guy married Kim Schultheis.
In St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm sure that Teal is enjoying his honeymoon, and we look for his return to the Pro Tour at the end of the year. He still has a chance for Bowler of the Year. It depends on what guys like Ballard, Ozio, Mazza do throughout the year. It's up for grabs.
Today, this man is tough. Danny Weissman, 23 years old, going against 27-year-old Dell Ballard Jr. of Richardson, Texas.
Ballard really hasn't bowled a bad game. He had that channel ball in the first frame, left the 10-pin, as you see his line. Then he got around the pocket every shot since then.
Hit. Thank you.
Okay, 91 has been sensational for Dell, and he's still looking forward to even more.
I would like to have this year be my best year of my career. I've been as mentally pumped up as I have been ever in my life, and I feel like I'm throwing the ball as well as I ever have. I want to probably become Bowler of the Year. I think if every bowler has a dream, it'd be to be in the Hall of Fame, and that would help me achieve that goal.
Dell Ballard now has cut Danny Weissman's lead to 23 pins. The game is on. We'll be back.
What was that?
What was what?
I heard a noise.
Oh, it's nothing, honey.
Oh. There it is again.
What?
It's that noise again.
When you go back to sleep, I told you it's nothing, honey.
There's no mistaking that nut and honey taste. Crisp flakes of corn smothered in sweet honey and roasted peanuts.
Now, I suppose that was nut and honey.
Nope.
Kellogg's nut and honey.
That was the milk.
Crunch.
Kelly LeBrock reveals the essence of man.
Hard to define. Easy to know. It's in the way he holds a drink, the way he wears his clothes, the way he talks, the way he walks, the way he smiles, looks, and kisses. And when he holds you close, it's in the way he smells. Brute, the essence of man. Come on, put it on.
The Harlem Globetrotters bring their basketball magic to Walt Disney World. Plus a preview of the Tyson-Ruddock rematch, all next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
We've returned Skyway Park Bowl.
And our host proprietors, Dave Pardee on the left and Rod Pardee on the right. Rod, one of the most interesting men I've ever met. Former Pro Bowler, one of the world-class poker players. In fact, last week won $133,000 in a tournament. Chris, quite a guy.
And the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, Jerry Buss, finished third. That Danny Wiseman hanging in there after a spare in the sixth, a strike in the seventh.
And it's still to be determined who's going to finish third in this tournament. As you see, Ballard struggled in the opening 4 frames, really kept the ball around the pocket, had a 10-pin after a channel shot, a 10-pin in the third, a 7-10 split in the fourth. As you see, Lisa Weissman trying to root Danny on against his only nemesis on television. Dell Ballard Jr. has a 23-pin lead, can make it 33, 8th frame. Check these eyes. Really one of his best things he does. Eyes and arms did not seem to work too well there.
No.
The eyes were doing the proper job. The arm swing had a little pull in it. As he lets the ball swing a little left of his target, drifts high and leaves a 3-6 spare. Right now, if he makes that, he will still maintain a 20-pin lead, but the door is open for Ballard.
Dell Ballard now. You know, in 1 week absence from the national tour, Dell Ballard was bowling in a league in Richardson, Texas, and while there, his 87 Ford Mustang was stolen. 10 of his bowling balls were also missing when the car was found later, completely stripped.
Come on. Yeah.
I said, what did you retain? He said, the gutter ball from Fairlanes that he was using in the Richardson tournament.
You see Ballard, that nice steady eyes. Look at those eyes. I'll tell you what, the pros' concentration is sensational. And you know, Chris, I know who stole this car. It was his league opponents. He told me his league average is 230. I'd take his car also. Now we'll see how Ballard's playing the lanes. Critical situation. Slide here, be between the second and third arrows. Big shot, 9th frame.
Ho! Yeah!
All right. That's the way he drives his 1967 Shelby Mustang GT 500. He is tough.
He is tough. He's confident. He doesn't believe he can lose, going for a record-tying 3 in a row. This is a key shot. Great reaction, and he's got the hair standing up on the back of the head of his opponent, Danny Wiseman. 9th frame, he only leads by 3.
But look at him respond.
Here's the big shot for Wiseman. His wife looks on. He has struck 11 out of 12 times on the right-hand lane. That's what's kept him in the matches. But now he has to perform on the left-hand lane where he has struggled. He can shut out Dell Ballard Jr. if he strikes twice and gets 8 pins. Not an easy task. It's up for grabs.
I have a feeling he better strike out.
Agreed. Boy, he threw a good shot, Chris.
Yes, he did.
Ripped that 5 right behind the 7. Disappointed. It almost looks like he's on the point of crying because he knows how tough Ballard is. Ballard just concentrating on the fact in front of him. Watch the head pin, the 3 pin, then the 5 pin gets driven straight behind the 7. The 4 doesn't carry it out. The best he can bowl is 219. Ballard's just going to need 1 strike to win the match.
And you must remember, Dell Ballard had 2 open frames in the first 4. Then he strung 5.
The story has been told for Wiseman on the right-hand lane. In the 6th frame, he was light. The 8th frame, he made an adjust. It went high. Once again, in the 10th, where he could have shut out Ballard, he was light. 219. It's not over. He could still win the match, but he's got to hope that Ballard doesn't strike.
Okay. 219 for talented Danny Wiseman of Baltimore.
Dell Ballard Jr. must strike on this ball, and then we'll see what he does if he strikes to keep it on the lane. Going for his 3rd consecutive PBA title. Ugly shot, Chris. He was just a little quick. He doesn't look like he was ready, and the match goes by the boards.
That's right.
Pathetic.
That was the case where Danny didn't have to come up with the 2 strikes.
It was a pretty even match all the way. Ballard, just a little tired on that shot, rushed it. 3 solid weeks of grinding away for titles, is going to have to settle for 3rd.
Dell Ballard is defeated by Danny Wiseman. Now let's listen and learn as Nelson Burton describes how bowlers can deal with pressure. Here's Bo.
ABC Sports Bowling Tip of the Week is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Pete McCordy going for a 300 game on national television. Look at the pressure. Look at his eyes. You can see him shaking. A perfect shot worth $100,000. We have it! Success for Pete McCordy. All of us get in pressure situations, and there's a simple method to deal with these pressure situations. If you'll just follow my advice. There's 2 common mistakes that players make. Number 1, they have a tendency to pull their eyes off the target before they ever release the ball. So what I want you to do is keep your eyes on the target all the way through your approach, all the way through the release, until you hear the ball hit the pins. And the second common mistake made under pressure is pulling the ball. More often than not, a player will pull the ball in the nose. So I want you to follow through towards your target with the inside of your elbow towards that target, not just towards the pins. So remember this tip under pressure. Keep your eyes on your target until you hear that ball hit the pins, and follow through with your elbow towards that target. You'll have success.
We all like to keep our car looking new. That's why so many people use Armor All Protectant. Armor All cleans and shines the rubber, plastic, and vinyl. And it protects all those surfaces, too. So Armor All makes your car look like new and helps it last longer. And that makes you look pretty smart. Armor All, it keeps you looking good.
Shine the lights on you, shine the lights on me. Keep your Bud Light shining for everyone to see. Shine the lights on this, shine the lights on that. Oh, shining all the others is with Bud Light.
When you're looking good, you want Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up and never lets you down.
You can taste it, you can feel it. You know you got it right. Everything else is just a light. Keep your Bud.
Freedent's the one. Only one gum passes the test when you've got dental work, and that's Freedent. Freedent won't stick to your dental work, so you can be confident chewing it. And because it also moistens your mouth and freshens your breath, Freedent's in a class by itself.
Freedent's the one that took the stick out of gum, and Freedent moistens your mouth. Yeah, moistens your mouth and freshens your breath while you chew.
Non-stick Freedent moistens your mouth and freshens your breath.
Freedent, no better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day, fine men.
How do I know where to get my brakes done right?
Come to Midas. You get a lot of value for the price, plus peace of mind, knowing the job will be done right. That's why more people come to us for brakes, knowing that nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Strike out to score more.
I just can't seem to find the pocket.
Call 1-800-4ABC-VCR and let Bo Burton's instructional home videos, Score More, help you solve your bowling problems.
Here's what the pros do.
Learn Bo's valuable tips on performance, practice techniques, body conditioning, and equipment selection, and score more. Only $24.98 plus $3 shipping. To order Bo's home video, call 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
Here in Seattle, Baltimore's Denny Weissman has won our first two matches. 9 strikes in his victory over Curtis Odom, 256 to 215. Then against the great Dell Ballard, he now has won 2 against Ballard this year with a 219 to a 215. And speaking of Ballard, he's with Bo.
Thank you, Chris. Dell Ballard, 2 times the gutter ball this year. 2 titles went by the boards.
Yeah, I got up on the left lane, and it got extremely tight for me. I threw my 2 practice balls on it, and there it goes, skidding right on off. And I wound up moving 5 boards to the right after that shot right there before I hit the pocket. It was solid in the pocket. And I tried to make a good aggressive shot, and it was in my hands, and I didn't. I didn't rise to the occasion, and that's why Danny's bowling and I'm not.
You're a true champion, Dell Ballard. Good luck next week in Portland, and we're on to the semifinal.
We had a lot of great champions here in Seattle. They'll be moving on to Portland for the $125,000 PBA Oregon Open. That's a week from today. Then on July 6th, the finals of the El Paso Open in that Texas city. And speaking of the champions, a great field of 159, average game 207, needed 216 to make the top 24. And look at these names. Wayne Webb with John Mazza, one of the 3-time winners. Bo. Randy Peterson, one of our favorites.
Tommy Kreitz, wrists getting much better, bowling better. Purvis Granger. Joe Purpo, watch him. He's getting better all the time. There's a Firestone champion, Williams. Janello expecting another child in a couple of weeks. He'll be taken off. Traver and Force. Force, the cranker from Illinois. A couple of Illinois boys. Champ Houston was down to watch his son. Moser, good in 17th place. Bowler of the Year, Monticelli. Ricky Corona, 19th. George Branham III. And Edwards, 21st. Thomas and Johnson, 22nd, 23rd. And rounding out the top 24, Styles getting $1,250. And there's that great trophy for our winner, Chris.
That it is. And Danny Weissman on the left. And here's your look at Eric Forkel of Chatsworth, California, the non-winner, left-hander. He is 30 years old. Been a member of the PBA for 7 years, but not that much out here. But this is a great opportunity for him, Bo. 5'11", 180 pounds.
Got a tough match in front of him. Wiseman, a proven champion, averaging better than 230 on a TV pair. Forkel, his first shot.
Oh, that'll take some pressure off. Forkel with a strike on the left lane. His best finish here in 1991 was 11th at the Fresno Open. His best ever as a PBA member was 6th at Dublin.
Wiseman, who has struck 11 out of 12 shots on this right-hand lane in his 2 previous matches. That's been the key to his victory. First frame semifinal.
He had 16 strikes in his 2 victories. First frame, again, it's all even.
Wiseman, who I said started duck pin bowling at the age of 4, turned to 10 pins at the age of 10, and at the age of 15 bowled his first perfect game. 300 for that young man, age of 15 years old. Now you take a look at the full grip of Wiseman. Tucks that pinky finger, spreads that index finger for balance. The fingers inserted to the first knuckle. Got that low profile position, much like Ballard and Holman. Too many idolized. Right now going in the second frame.
Okay. Danny Weissman opening with a double, putting pressure on a first-time starter on television, Eric Forkel. 2 regional titles. Leaving a 3-5 on the right lane.
Eric Forkel with a very simple style. Good push away, solid swing, inside out. Look at this position as he hits his pivot step. Just gives it a little bit too much speed. Drifts by and leaves the 3-5. Got to avoid chopping the 3 off the 5, second frame.
Oh. You heard him say whoa with that wireless mic.
Boy, it's so tough to bowl in your first championship round. I know what this young man's going through. As you see him chop the 3 off the 5, he's going against an experienced player, Wiseman, who started with 2 strikes against him, gave him no room for a breather. Let's see if Eric can come back here in the 3rd and 4th frames.
Hold. Leaving a 2, 4, and 7.
All the spares are tough at this point. As you see the angle that Eric is attacking the championship pair, you see that ball just inside the second arrow. He'd like to get it between the first and second arrows. Once again, has left himself a very difficult spare, the 2, 4, 7.
Well done, Eric. So now Mr. Wiseman. Double up, shooting in the 3rd frame. And does he use all the approach? He really does. And from overhead, you'll see what I mean.
Long stride, long slide, excellent arm swing.
Oh, is that a powerful ball? Gee.
You know, he said he was in a little bit of slump. He finished 150 pins under a 200 average last week in Dublin, which is barely over a 190 average, not much for a top pro. Then he gave us his practice regimen, over 7 hours in one day. And a top pro like Danny Wiseman can bowl more than 6 games an hour. So you're talking 40 or 50 games a day he was bowling. And he's reaping the fruits of all that practice right now, 4th frame.
Four of them. Danny Weissman, 2 PBA titles, 2 Eastern Regional titles. We'll be back.
You take me back to that feeling. I remember ice cream sodas, holding hands in picture shows, driving home and one more kiss goodnight. I take good care of the sweet treasure. We share such good times together. You still get us where we want to go. And CarQuest keeps us rolling down the road.
Everyone calls me father. And I love a kid's cereal.
Brave adults wrestle with the notion that Kellogg's Frosted Flakes is just for kids.
I work with tigers. I never thought I'd love one.
That delectable frosting, that incredible crunch. No wonder adults never outgrow the taste.
Oh, I'm guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
It's no crime. Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
The beauty, the danger, the excitement, and the tradition of one of the world's greatest races, the Tour de France, coming in July on ABC Sports.
Here in our third match, Danny Weissman in the white shirt has a very comfortable lead, 46 pens over Way, running a little bit behind our schedule. His opponent, Eric Forkel, a non-winner, left a 3-5-6-9 in the fourth, but covered them. Then in the fifth, came up and marked with a strike. Now, with 4 in a row, Danny Weissman of Baltimore, fifth frame. All right, 5 in a row as we go to Bo.
Thank you, Chris. Our dapper tournament leader, one of the best-dressed men in all sports, Dave Ferraro. The Pins don't know that you're dressed so well, David. It's been 0 wins and 6 losses in the championship round in the last 2 years. Any game plan change today?
Well, I really don't think about what happened in the past. I fought all week to get where I'm at, and hopefully with a couple of breaks, I'll win this tournament.
He seems very confident, Chris. We'll know who's going to be the winner in about 20 minutes. Back to you.
32-year-old Dave Ferraro, Kingston, New York. From Baltimore, 23-year-old Danny Weissman. Well, he is halfway. He had 16 strikes coming into this, his third game. Now with 6 in a row. And first time on TV, you have to meet a buzzsaw like Wiseman, Eric Forkel. But he's got a double of his own. Good boy. Eric Forkel told us earlier how he got started in the great sport of bowling.
Well, when I was about 8 years old, my uncle got me started in bowling. He put a bowling ball in my hand, and he told me to start bowling. And I worked hard on it, and years went along, and I bowled the juniors, and my father helped me a lot. He helped me a lot to get started, and I wish he could be here right now, but he passed away a few years ago. And if things really work out well today, I would dedicate this tournament to him.
Well, Eric will cheer for you. 3 in a row. First time on television, pressure really on. Proud of his lifelong dream of making the Final 5, Bo, and here going against a red-hot Danny Weissman.
Well, you're right. Wiseman experienced, even though he's only been out on the tour a couple of years, and Forkel's really doing what he should do. Forkel is basically doing and keeping his game together. Now, Danny Weissman with 6 strikes in a row, possible perfect game, obviously. Haven't had one in a couple of years. The last one by Bob Benoit at the Quaker State, 1988. Seventh frame.
Came by just a moment ago. Is that telling us something? Good boy. 7. There will be one difference, though. As wife Lisa looks on, there is not a true value $100,000 prize should one of our pros here on the spring summer tour.
Well, we'll just take it out of your paycheck, Chris. You've been out here 30 years, and you're an interested party being entertained.
I'll have to work 2 more years to total the 100, okay?
Just be a
Maybe
small,
3.
small token from Chris Schenkel. Danny Weissman, 7 strikes in a row, going for 8.
Okay, moneybags. Winner today gets $18,000 here in Seattle.
Sweet shot, leaves a solid 10 in the 8th. Best he can shoot is 279, has the match well in hand, but Eric Forkel still has a potential 244, so there's an outside chance Forkel could come back.
7 in a row, Danny Weissman, and a relieved smile.
He likes it until he sees the result.
Game of 10 pins. We'll be back after this.
Before you get on the road this summer, call for this coupon book. It's worth over $1,000 at places like Red Lobster, Alamo Rent-A-Car, and theme parks. And it's yours free when you reserve a room at any choice hotel like Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep. But call today. They're going fast.
Call 1-800-4CHOICE to reserve your room and free coupon book. Supplies are limited.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Find it.
Water helps your garden grow. Want to know any more? Ask Ace.
This Ace 60-foot garden hose is just $8.77, and Ace 5-star acrylic latex house paint is only $8.97 a gallon.
Hey, Ace is the place for me. Let me tell you.
Bowling's best hit the trail looking to strike it rich in Portland. It's the PBA Oregon Open on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour next Saturday.
Danny Weissman in the lead. Not as much as when we left. 9th frame, spare up. Ooh, Brooklyn. Well, while we were away, Eric Forkel trying his very best to make a match of it, though, with a strike in the 8th and 9th frames, making it a 5-bagger.
Chris Forkel has come back from his little bit of nervous start at the first 4 frames, and believe it or not, Wiseman got a great break here in the 9th. If he goes high and gets a split, Forkel could win the match. So right now, Wiseman has it pretty much in control, but Forkel really coming back has a potential 244. Wiseman working at a 259 pace, a potential 279. Big scores.
All right. Danny Wiseman is the winner here. His 3rd victory of the afternoon as we're live from Skyway Park Bowl in the Emerald City.
What kind of TV bowler is this young man? His average coming in today after 5 games in the championship round is 240.3. He's going to up that through the first 3 games today. Great championship match coming up. The determined Ferraro against the upstart Danny Wiseman.
Spectators are probably heard him ooh and ah, thinking that there was going to be a miss. And it probably included Lisa Wiseman.
Well, for Danny, he had that left-hand lane figured out most of this game, kind of lost it here in the 10th frame. Let's see how he gathers his thoughts for the championship match.
7-1, won and lost on TV. Whew. And he shoots a big 259 in his 3rd victory. Now he will meet the tournament leader, Dave Ferraro. ABC Sports presentation, Professional Bowlers Tour will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Fat-free? I can't wait to taste this. What's it called? A bit of celery? Box of nothing? I'm sick of watching out for fat. To me, everything good has fat in it.
Now, you're not telling me these are fat-free, because these are some delicious flakes.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes have always been fat-free.
Fat-free? Kellogg's Corn Flakes? Will take the ribbon from my hair.
A good reason to taste them again for the first time.
No better way to face the day.
When the sun comes up, then I'm feeling fine. 'Cause the AM surely is my favorite time.
The morning belongs to Speed Stick. It's what more men reach for. To prepare, to prevent, to protect. Speed Stick, 110% protection.
No better way to face the day. No better way to face the day.
Speed Stick, 110% protection.
Christina!
First there was Romeo and Juliet, then Tony and Maria. Now it's Sal and Christina.
I love you, Christina.
The Man in the Family, Wednesday.
Every morning you wake up and, well, maybe the first thing you do is start the coffee or get the kids out of bed. Maybe it's a hot shower or a little exercise that gets the blood flowing. However you start the day, be sure to include Channel 5's Eyewitness News Morning and Good Morning America to help get you up and going with the latest news and weather. So if you're a fast riser or a snooze hitter, count on Eyewitness News and Good Morning America to help start your day. Weekdays on Channel 5.
We're on your side.
Where'd this Cub Scout troop get this pile of garbage? They pulled it right out of the Minnehaha Creek.
Whether you're new to the area or have lived here all your life, protecting Minnesota's rivers and streams is everyone's responsibility.
And join all of us from Channel 5 in our Adopt a River project.
Anyone can adopt a portion of their favorite waterway and organize a cleanup like this. For more information, call this number.
Join Channel 5's Adopt a River project and help us protect Minnesota's natural resources.
Summer fashion do's and don'ts.
That's on Good Company at 3.
TV1 in New York. Here's Frank Gifford.
We'll return to today's final match in a moment, but a reminder coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, the Harlem Globetrotters at Walt Disney World, plus we'll preview the upcoming heavyweight fight between Mike Tyson and Razor Ruddock. We'll also hear from Tyson. And from Vail, Colorado, an exciting new event, mountain biking's the ride of your life. Now let's return to Chris Schenkel in Seattle. Chris?
The Baltimore bowler, Danny Weissman, has won 3 matches. Big scores, 256-215 against Odom. Second game, 219-215 against Dell Ballard. And then he came back here with, again, 9 strikes, 259-221. He has earned the right to meet the tournament leader, Dave Ferraro, of Kingston, New York. Next week, we go to Portland, Oregon for the Oregon Open. That's a $125,000 tournament, so we hope you'll join us same time, same station, right here on ABC. Let's join Bo Burton.
Thank you, Chris. Eric Forkel, first time in the championship round. Critique your experience for us.
Well, it was very interesting. I had a little problem hanging on the ball. I think it's because of the lights and just the whole atmosphere. But I learned a lot from this one, and I believe that next time I'll be somebody to reckon with.
Good positive attitude. Good luck next time, Eric. Back to you, Chris.
These young bowlers and the veterans as well have had as their idol for at least 21 years on the PBA Tour, Earl Anthony. He retired this week. Let's talk about him for a moment, okay? The great Earl Anthony started his career in the early 70s, and along the way, he earned 45 titles. He earned the respect of all of us. He added so much class to our many telecasts. He became the first player to surpass the $1 million mark, doing it in Toledo, Ohio. A 21-year career where he gained the PBA Player of the Year 6 times. So we salute the PBA's winningest champion as he retired this week with 4 games of 258, 250, 268, and 236. Now Earl can spend more time at his Oregon home with his wife, Susie. Play golf, operate his 2 bowling establishments. So Earl, from all of us at ABC, you're a classy guy, and we're going to miss you. Okay, Bo.
One of the great champions of all time, Earl Anthony. I had the luxury of bowling him for a couple of titles, of even bowling with Earl as a doubles partner, and Earl will be missed. I'm sure he'll be around, but he won't be competing. Now, here's another Firestone Tournament champion trying to break a slump of 0-6.
Lofting it out on the lane and leaving a 10-pin. You know, Earl, the great bowling champion, what a friend.
That's for sure, except on the golf course.
Well, that, you know.
He won't ever give you enough strokes. Dave Ferraro, 3 games in the championship pair, 242 this week. Great average.
Hurried shot, no doubt.
Seems so confident going into this game, but that 0 wins and 6 losses in the last 2 years has to be working on his mind. You see him not even close to the 10-pin. Have we seen the first frame in many of the matches today make the difference as it comes down to the end?
But Mr. Striker, whew, Danny Weissman.
Chris, phenomenal. 17 out of 18 strikes on the right-hand lane. That's how you win tournaments.
9 strikes in his first victory, 7 in his next, 9 in his last. Second frame championship match, 18,000 to the winner. Two-time winner, Denny Weissman. Five-time champ, Dave Ferraro. Two-pin.
The lane that's giving him a little bit of trouble. Only in the second match did he strike consistently on the left-hand lane. Last game, it looked like he had it figured out and then struggled towards the end of the game. So Wiseman, who looks like his style is holding together, struggling on the left, but still in control.
Couple of well-dressed professionals, though, here in the finals. Danny with his, what once were the colors of the Baltimore Colts in the NFL, now the Indianapolis Colts. And here's Dave Ferraro.
Dave having to contend with what all pros contend with. As you see his style here, just a kind of an upright five-step delivery, good loft out over the line, very accurate arm swing, good follow through. He's having to contend with what we call the oil carry down. As we showed at the top of the championship round, the oil is applied 45 feet on the lane, but as the players roll, the ball carries it farther down the lane. You must make an adjustment. You see David looking down at the approach, going to make some sort of adjustment to the right to get his ball to break a little sooner. Here's where he's going. He's standing a little bit farther to the right. David will be in this area, and he's going to try to get that ball right around the first arrow.
David, who left the 10-pin, led the last 3 rounds. This is his 4th television appearance of the year and 4th in the last 5 outings.
Bothered by wrist problems and a groin pull about 1.5 years ago, David's finally getting back into really good form. He's very sharp.
He's 5'7", weighs 155 pounds. We indicated earlier, 32 years old. Comes from a bowling family. His father, Jack, patriarch of a family that also owns 2 bowling establishments. Okay, Wide World will follow us from our Seattle telecast. Clown Princes of Basketball, Harlem Globetrotters at Walt Disney World. Mike Tyson, Razor Ruddock. That's right, they're going to fight again. Special preview on ABC's Wide World today, plus mountain biking in the Rockies.
Triple treat on Wide World of Sports. Now Wiseman, 12-pin lead, can make it 22, 4th frame.
Oh, yes. 3 strikes and 4 frames for a red-hot bowler named Danny Weissman. We'll take a break, then return for more of this final match.
It's a symbol of security for millions of Americans. A document that protects your rights in all 50 states. And an inspiration for all who honor it. It's the Goodyear Promise. Available only with Goodyear Certified Auto Service. It includes a nationwide warranty that promises we'll fix your car right or fix it again free at 2,700 locations nationwide. Good tires, good service, good people, Goodyear.
Get huge savings on big names during Sears 4th of July paint sale, like Weather Beater, Easy Living, Dutch Boy, Olympic Stain, and more. This premium Weather Beater low luster satin finish on sale only $13.99. Hurry, sale ends July 6th at Sears.
Linen, no better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Fine linen.
All right. We're at Skyway Park Bowl in Seattle. We always enjoy coming here, and enjoying this tournament, having led the last 3 rounds, is this man, Dave Ferraro. Tough match, though. Spare up, 4th frame. Oh, 2.
A wry smile on David's face because he knows he's bowling well. He knows how to win. He's trying to shake the monkey off his back of 0 wins and 6 losses. But look at that average on the championship pair, 242 for 3 games. So he knows how to strike.
Dave Ferraro's personal annual earnings goal is $75,000. To date, he's posted 36, but he's confident he'll reach his goal.
Lately, I've been on a hot streak. This is my 4 out of 5 shows now in the last 5 tournaments, and I'm making up for the first half of the winter. So if I can keep on this pace, I should achieve my goal this year.
All right. And leaving a 2-pin, a man that attained 111,966 a year ago.
His ball slides by the head pin for the 5th consecutive time he's been light. And you sit at home and you say, well, my gosh, why didn't he just point it up towards the pocket? Well, on the PBA Tour, the oil is fairly even on the lane. He'll cross over if he does that. So he just has to soften speed.
David Ferraro, whose best year was in 1988, 6 televisions, he won 2 and $150,395.
Now, Wiseman, who has struck 18 of the 19 times on this right-hand lane, can open up a 34-pin lead in the 5th frame if he can make it 19 out of 20.
Better buy that lane and send it back to Baltimore. 81,156 were the earnings last year when he won 2 titles.
42-game format. Wayne Webb coming back with a little more power was the early leader for after 6. Purvis Granger, the qualifying leader of 18. Then Ferraro took over in the 24 games of match play. Right now he has his back to the wall as this young man going for his 3rd title leads by 34.
Having done a 360 down at the line, and each time he came around, he saw the same thing.
Still 4 standing. He has to get this ball, as you see it cutting right through the pins. He just laid that ball down at the foul line. He had quite a bit of loft on this left-hand lane. He got a little cute with the shot, left a 4, 6, 7, 10 with 2 strikes up. The best for him is to make sure he gets 2 of the pins. Just go for the 6-10, sit down and take your lumps. When you have a double up and you throw away a pin like that, it costs you 2 in the scoreboard. It may come back to haunt him at the end of the game. But if anything could pump life into David Ferraro, that would be it, that big open. Let's see how Dave reacts.
Oh, yeah. For David, first strike, 6 frames.
Oh, momentum. We know it in sports so well, Chris. There it happened. Ferraro, no strikes through 5, gets a wide open split from Wiseman, the first chink in his armor all day long. Now here comes Ferraro back and cut the lead down to just 4 pins with a double.
When the opportunity was at hand, what happens?
David trying to point the ball up at the pocket. We said that there's not enough oil in the lanes, center of the lanes on a PBA tour to do that, and he paid the price. Needs to get the ball over here, slide that 4-pin into the 10, a tough shot.
David Ferraro.
Wiseman, who has a 238 league average at home back in Baltimore and a 212 average here out on the tour, 26 pins difference. That's about the difference between tour conditions and house conditions. In good shape.
7-pin.
First time he's missed striking on the right-hand lane since the first game against Dell Ballard. Still has a 26-pin lead, and there's a lot of bowling left. 8th, 9th, and 10th frames for the championship. Many a story has been written in those 3 frames.
Danny defeated Curtis Odom, Dell Ballard. and Eric Forkel. And continues to mark here in Seattle.
Acting a little confused out there. You just tell by his reactions out there. He says, what do I do on this left-hand lane? I've been highlight, so has his opponent. But he can't gamble on his opponent getting open frames once again. He has to keep up the pace, keep up the pressure. He's going at a 200 pace now, 8th frame. Pretty trusting shot there in the clutch. Ferraro backed up to the end of the approach, has to get it going.
Ten-pin.
David has made all the adjustments he can make. He's got 8 frames under his belt. He's zeroed in on this right-hand lane. If he has a chance to win, he's a great clutch player. He'll know where to go in the 10th, but he has to let Wiseman give him a chance.
David Ferraro. He's won 5 titles and also the PBA Invitational in Calgary, where we did the 1988 Olympic Games, and it's a great city for bowling, though.
Yes, it is. They have a Calgary Challenge up there, which is now televised on ABC television. Ferraro, one of the great match play bowlers, won it. Right now, he'd like to throw some strikes and pull this one out of the fire.
And on behalf of David, you, and me, I am campaigning for a telecast from Calgary.
I'll go for that. Wiseman, who also takes the full approach, much like Dave Ferraro, although Wiseman takes a 4-step delivery. Right now, he can lock up the tournament with a strike here on his favorite lane. Let's see what happens. 9th frame. Now, Wiseman, who's taking one of his 2 re-racks allowed just to kind of look at the scoreboard, gather his thoughts. He's looking at one of our television monitors off to the right, calculating the score, and he has to make the decision. Should I trust the ball wide out like he did in the 8th frame, almost in the channel, a la Dell Ballard, or should I keep it in play? Let's see what his decision is. If he makes a big mistake, Ferraro can still win. .25-second clock. He's precariously close to going past it.
Pull the trigger.
All right, he did not trust the ball wide for a channel shot. Right now, if he opens here with a 9 out, we can have a tie match. Here's what happens. He doesn't send the ball wide. Remember in the 8th frame, he almost threw it in the channel. Well, that's the proper shot. You got to trust it. Here he figured he could get a few extra pins, avoid the channel shot. Now he must make the spare to lock up the tournament. Tough shot.
Oh! By the narrowest of margins.
Look at what a great break he gets. He nips the 2, the 3-pin, barely nips the 9. Most of the times you will miss the spare, and he knows it when you attack it like that. He wins the tournament. Great break.
Okay, David Ferraro yet to finish. But the tournament leader is ousted by Danny Wiseman. And let's go back to New York now and our colleague, Frank Gifford.
Thank you very much, Chris. Coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, the Harlem Globetrotters at Walt Disney World. Plus, we'll preview the upcoming heavyweight fight between Mike Tyson and Razor Ruddock. And we'll hear from Tyson. And from Dell, Colorado, an exciting new event, the Ride of Your Life mountain bike race. Well, as expected, 18-year-old Eric Lindros was selected first today by the Quebec Nordics in this year's NHL draft. Lindros, who is the most heralded NHL prospect since Mario Lemieux, has yet to sign a contract and has said that he wants to keep his professional options open. We'll return to Chris Schenkel right after this. Stay with us.
Some men would rather live their lives sheltered in the harbor, and some would rather sail into life with the unmistakable scent of Old Spice. Clean, true, and classic. Old Spice, one of the legends of the sea.
Budman! This 4th of July, find a Budman inside packages of Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Dry Draft.
Budman! Man, are we going to spend the 4th boxed up in here? No!
You could win one of thousands of prizes.
What kind of prizes you guys got?
I got a Jeep.
All right. Hey, I got a towel.
Oh.
Okay, I got a plan. Toss the towel in the Jeep and pick me up.
Uh-oh.
Hey, she got the Jeep. Okay, plan B. We raid the snack aisle.
Nothing beats a Bud
Man.
What was that?
What was what?
I heard a noise.
Oh, it's not Nani.
Oh. There it is again.
What?
It's that noise again.
When you go back to sleep, I told you it's not Nani.
There's no mistaking that nut nani taste. Crisp flakes of corn smothered in sweet honey and roasted peanuts.
Now, I suppose that was nut and honey.
Nope.
Kellogg's nut and honey.
That was the milk.
Crunch.
The new mulching mowers from John Deere cut grass clippings into tiny pieces and blow them back into the ground, which can have a beautiful effect on your lawn. Even better, you no longer have clippings to bag. And that, too, can have a beautiful effect.
This is the money won and how they finished in the Seattle Open with 4 victories today. Danny Weissman, his 3rd PBA title, $18,000 to him, defeating Dave Ferraro 2 of 3 to 174. Rod Party, co-proprietor here with his brother Dave, and Ray Benson, general manager, with the check and trophy to Lisa and Danny Weissman. Of course, next week, we'll go a little south of here to another beautiful city of Portland. For Nelson Burton, I'm Chris Schenkel. Goodbye.
The Pro Bowlers Tour has been brought to you by Old Spice Fragrance and Aftershave. Cool, crisp, and unmistakably masculine. Old Spice. By Kellogg's, the best to you each morning. And by the good tires, good services, and good people at your nearby Goodyear retailer. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
Promotional fee has been paid to ABC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
Plus case